Welcome to a new day here at MEA as we feature week number 1 of the MEA Trophy Truck Challenge here at Homestead, the mini circuit. I am SSR Mayhem, and alongside me, my partner, SSR Bobberts. And Bobberts, it's great to have you here again. It's been a while since we've had you here in the booth. No, you've been driving on and off in other series, but obviously you're not currently running in this one. And uh, we are here with about so far 16 drivers that have made the lobby as they're warming up, getting the trucks going, getting the tires moving, getting a feel for the cars, and qualifying went really well this week. All the drivers, except for a couple and a late entry, had gotten their times in. SQDGG Racing got the pole position, and Bobberts, well, this is a different kind of racing we haven't seen here at MEA. And to you, what are you looking forward to the most in something that's a little bit different than the usual here, what we do?
Well, as you said, obviously it's something completely different that MEA is running, obviously with these trophy trucks. Obviously it's not something that I've ever raced myself, but obviously we're going to see what these drivers can do here tonight. And, well, obviously, I'm expecting some good, clean, action-packed racing. Obviously we do have a couple of races, if I'm correct in saying that. But, at the same time, I just wanted to, it's a little bit of action-packed fun. As I said, it's something different. Going to see how this goes, and I'm expecting many things to happen, but as to what they are, I don't know yet.
Well, and this is a little bit different style of stuff. A little bit slower vehicles, a little bit more on the unbalanced side of things. These trucks, they're lifted off the ground. They give and take a little bit less than some of the other cars that we've normally seen here. And the speed difference between these compared to, we just got done with the Indy 500 recently. There's a little bit of a gap there. And, what I'm thinking here is the tracks this is 4 weeks of racing. So we all know, if you haven't already, 4 weeks of racing. Obviously, this is week 1, and we got a nice lobby of drivers so far, and obviously we still got another 23 minutes here before anything really happens, and we'll definitely bring in some of the drivers and talk to them prior to the race. But Adam, I'm kind of excited about this. It's a small track. These are kind of big vehicles, and I wonder how these guys are going to react on the track. I don't feel like Homestead's one of those big, wide-open tracks. It's not too skinny. It's not, but it's not, it's just right there on the edge. And I don't think we're going to see a lot of side-by-side action. I think we're going to see a lot of who's going to get, that extra edge in the corner. Maybe a little bump, little bump pass here and there. I think that's really going to be the factor in this event today.
You know what? I have to agree with you. I mean, obviously, the fact that we are doing, very small circuits. Obviously, as you said, we are here at Homestead, the mini circuit here tonight. I think it's going to be more of a case of who can keep it on track the most, or the fewest mistakes, I believe, as well as keeping the consistency and a good consistent speed is what's going to win you this race here. I mean, obviously, looking through the qualifying sheet, obviously it was very close towards the top. So, a number of drivers can easily, make their way through the field, even perhaps, challenge for the win. As you said, it's consistency is key, and keeping on the track is the first protocol.
And the one thing that is a little bit different about this series, Adam, is there's 2 races in the same week. So obviously there's going to be the normal grid order. They're going to go run that first race. The second race, the top 11 drivers actually invert, and the rest of the drivers stay the same. So you're going to see a little bit of a mix-up in race number 2. Now, these races, they are decently, ran out. And, obviously, there's no cautions in this event. So you got to be very picky on how you race. But at the same time, another thing that we should take in the factor here is it's a fuel and tires race. The decision of not running simulation damage, obviously a huge thing for some of these guys. How much do you think that might change the way some people drive?
In all honesty, I don't think it's going to change how people drive an awful lot. I mean, obviously the fact that we're not running sim damage, I mean, people can just go all guns blazing, the first corner, the first lap, or even just the first lap in general. We do expect clean, fair racing here in MEA, as in any other series, really. But the fact that these races, the fact that we do have the reverse grid, from the top 11, it does make way for the second race, especially for how those guys who finish towards the front, how they're going to get through the field. Excuse me, doing it, not only cleanly but fairly, and as I said, try and make the way through to the front. But it's what makes it for good open racing and for more battles to come into a play.
And I don't see any. I do see one. We do have one past MEA champion in this lobby. That would be SSR Starlord. He won about a year ago, actually, Adam, last year in the Manufacturers Challenge. So a lot of fresh new faces. And honestly, Bobbert, I mean, if you look at the grid here, or at least not the grid, but all the drivers that are already in here or even on that list, there's a lot of new faces here. And, it's always really exciting to see new faces, and obviously you want to continue to see the regular faces. But this type of style of racing, the type of league that it is, it's brought out different faces, and I think that's really exciting as well.
Definitely. Again, I agree with you. I mean, it's, obviously some of these people that are taking part in the series, yes, some of them took part in the MEA Indy 500 series, but that was just essentially a qualifying race and then the main race itself. Whereas this is, yes, it's a mini series, but this is, a number of drivers' first series, within MEA or in general.
And that being said, we're going to try to get a couple of the drivers in here, talk to them prior to the race. We're going to try to get the pole sitter, GG Racing, in here, get his thoughts from qualifying to race day here. Obviously, some of the drivers not in the race yet. We know some of the drivers are not going to be able to make the race. So far, there's about 14 drivers here, Bobbards, and obviously, we would love to see more show up, and I think we will. But that being said, we have GG Racing in our party here right now. And GG, if you don't mind checking that box off so that people can hear you, we just want to talk to you real quick and get your thoughts on from qualifying to race day. Obviously, GG, it's been a long time since we've seen you here at MEA. You're back in action. You're back in the MEA division. Obviously, a smaller series nonetheless. You got the top time in qualifying. What are you going to have to do today to not only win race number 1 off of the pole spot, but then obviously if you do really well, you're going to start, obviously mid-pack possibly in race number 2. How important is it for you today to run a consistent race?
Pretty much like in race 2, just take it easy. I know these guys in the front, I know they're gonna probably take their time or they're gonna push hard. Depends on what their driving skills are at this moment. I know these drivers very well, except some people in here I know of. But since all these drivers are new that I never seen before, I'm gonna take my time, watch for the mistakes, and I'm just gonna send it on whatever safer, and try not to kill it.
Well, GG, good luck to the best of you. Thanks for coming in real quick. You may go back to your party or wherever you were. That way we can bring somebody else in here. But we want to wish you the best of luck today and glad to have you back here at MEA.
Yep, see you guys later.
Take care. And, he made a great point there, Bobberts, being patient. He's around guys he hasn't been around before. I mean, you as a driver, when you see different faces that you're not used to seeing, how much does that make you think in the back of your mind, okay, I need to be a little bit more cautious around these guys compared to people that you've been around?
Well, obviously, as I've raced against GG in the past, obviously, I probably have the same mentality as what he might be thinking in terms of, yes, with a number of these drivers that I've raced against before, I know how they race, I know what I can do or can't do with them, but, if there's somebody in here that you don't know what they're like, it's a learning curve for everybody. You're gonna have to just see what they do, see how how they drive, get used to this style of driving, and just take it one step at a time, one race at a time.
And that being said, we got another competitor here with us in the broadcast booth, and that's DOR Urus. And Urus, if you don't mind, check off that box in the party chat so that everyone can hear you. You qualified 13th on the grid. Obviously, a little bit around the mid-pack, around 20-something drivers. Not too bad. And then we know this is the first time that you've been competing in MEA. Obviously, you were competing to get into the Indy 500 previously, but here you are getting ready for race number 1. It looks like we got about 15 drivers so far here, and obviously we got about 16 minutes before anything really starts up. But take us through your thoughts. We know that this is your first time here, and with us at least. And what are you looking forward to the most, and what are you trying to get out of as the race starts to unfold? Are you going to be one of those patient guys? You're going to try to get through the field as fast as you can before race number 2? And Eurus, that's the best mentality you can have going in. Obviously, you want to do the best you can, but getting that learning experience is so important. And obviously, starting mid-pack, and with that reverse grid, that invert, I should say, going into race 2, how hard are you going to drive to stay within the top 11 so that around the second race you might get that better position depending where you are? And obviously, you don't want to try to sandbag to get that position. But if you can do anything possible, what's the chances that you are going to try to make sure you can seal that deal so that you don't get that unfortunate start in race number 2? Mm-hmm. Well, Eurus, we are wishing you the best of luck in today's race here, week number 1, and go out there, do the best you can, and come back with some experience that you can pass on to the next races. And hey, who knows, maybe you'll get the win here today. But good luck. And Bobberts, here's a guy that is just getting into the midst of league racing. And how important is it for these guys that want to take that next step in the league racing? Not only in the league racing, but to become possibly a Forza RC competitor. How important is it to get involved in league racing?
Well, league racing is where you sort of start in terms of you get to know different drivers, where they're from, what sort of styles they have, what different series that they each do, get to know people, you can use them as even make it as your friends, even join a league racing team. And then you work your way forward and you go from there, you get more consistent, you get faster, you help others who help you in return, and then that, hopefully, if everything goes well, touch wood, builds you up into the Forza RC, into other forms of events.
And we just got told that his audio wasn't on, and that's very unfortunate. Sorry about that, guys, but we can't control if they don't put it on. But basically, Eurus is looking for that experience today, just to give you guys a catch up. He's just entering league racing as a competitor, so really for him today, it's all about getting a feel for the track, getting a feel for the competitors around him, and trying to get some experience to do the best that he can. So I know AMR Light brought that up in there, and obviously, there's nothing we can do about, not being able to get his audio on. But let's try to get another driver in here real quick. And Duke the Rebel is here. He's trying to get into the race. He keeps hopping in and out. But let's get SSR Numi in here and get his thoughts and what would be considered something that Numi would never have driven. Obviously, you're a teammate of his, but no problem, Light. No problem. That's what we're here for. And SMXJ Yankee is on the way, and we're gonna try to get another driver in here before he starts with this race.
Trent Johnny's actually turned up.
I see that, and there's Savitar.
That's good.
And Savitar just showed up. Look at that.
Dude, so we've now got 18 people. This is good. This is very good.
This is what we wanted to see. We know that 22 are set to take the field. Starlord actually came in late. So he's actually starting at the rear because one of the drivers have announced that they weren't going to make it today. There was enough room to getting him into the show. And here's another competitor in the mist. And Numi, if you don't mind putting your party audio on from the party chat box. Numi, we just wanted to bring in and get your thoughts on today's race. And, here's the series and event. We've talked in the past that it's not something that you'd normally do, and you've obviously been expanding your talents in different forms. Obviously, you start, I believe, if I can pull my sheet up, you're supposed to start about mid-pack, about 12th place from qualifying. 12th. What are you looking to get out of this event? How are you going to approach the first race going into the second race?
I'm just going to keep my head down, expect a lot of different variables in this, because, it drives way different than things I'm used to driving on this game, but more importantly, I'm just more excited about this event.
And, you talked about the styles of cars, and you're a prototype kind of guy at heart, and we know you've dipped down into other things. Is there any challenges for you in these trucks that you might not have faced in maybe a prototype, so to speak?
Oh, for sure. Handling is miles apart compared to prototypes on a truck. Very loose, very soft. Prototypes are very stiff, very hard. That's what she said.
And, well, at least he kept it semi-clean there. But, Numi, we know that in race number 2, the top 11 get to a reverse grid. Now, you're on the outskirts of that based off of qualifying. What are you looking to try to sneak into the top 10? And obviously, I'm sure you're going to do the best you can. But how important is it to you to get within that 11 car field? And if you're able to, stay in that mid-pack of 11 to get a good spot in race number 2?
Well, I'm just looking to have fun. Of course, I'd like to take positions and finish high up on the rankings there. Hopefully get a podium maybe. But I'm just looking to have fun out there, not really looking to battle too much. We'll see.
Well, good luck to you, Numi, and we're looking forward to seeing what you have on the track, and maybe we'll get you in here at the end of race number 2 if you can get that win. But good luck to you in week number 1, and thanks for coming in here.
Appreciate it.
And that was Numi, ladies and gentlemen. And, Adam, we talked about, people taking things seriously in events, and here's a guy doesn't drive these cars normally, is looking just to have some fun and get something out of it because he doesn't normally race in them. And I know you recently did that as well with prototypes.
Indeed. Well, as Naomi was just explaining then, the difference obviously between the prototypes and with obviously this truck racing series, obviously they are two completely different caliber, of actual vehicles that you'd be driving, as he perfectly explained, differences between the two. But as this is what it is, it's just having the fun of actually driving something different to what you'd normally drive. So obviously, his comfort zone is the prototype. So doing something like this, which is completely like as a novice to him as such, you could say, it's good to see people going into something like this. And as you said, which my normal forte as such is GTs, and then going up a step into protos. It's just learning new cars.
And definitely, and that's the whole thing about getting involved in league race. Not only do you get to race with new competitors, better competition, guys that can push you, but it also gives you that experience. And when you dip into things that you don't normally run, it can only make you a better driver. But we also got BDF48 Gaming in the broadcast booth right now. And Gaming, please make sure your party audio is on, if you will do, please. And just to get your thoughts before the race, and obviously this is technically your second event, your first series here at MEA's. Obviously you competed in the Indy 500, came up a little short in that, but obviously a lot of fun watching you. And obviously you're starting 4th on the grid in race number 1. Gotta ask you, do you think you got the pace to take these guys down up front?
No. I don't know. I wish I could say yeah, but
anything can happen.
Anyways.
Anything can happen, but being
you're right.
at the front, do you think you can capitalize?
Do I think I can capitalize? Well, the nature of these trophy trucks, for sure, something can happen. Obviously, I've told Outlaw before this race. Before SQD ran that 2-minute flat, I was like, this race is going to come down to whoever can dodge the bullets the best. And I don't know, 4th is going to be an interesting starting spot. I got Duke and Outlaw behind me. I hope they treat me well, but it should be a fun one for sure.
And BDF, we enjoyed what you put on the track back in Indianapolis, and we're really looking forward to seeing what you could put on here. Obviously, a different breed of car, different group of guys, but good luck today as you look to tackle it. Maybe get a win here. Maybe we'll get you back in the commentary booth for some post-race, talking. So, good luck and nothing but the best. Thank you. All right, Adam. So we're going to get one more driver in here, ladies and gentlemen, before we start. Let's try to get LMP Crispy in here. This is his first time in MEA, and we talk about new guys always joining, the series. He's actually starting, I believe, position number 2, if I'm correct. And he is. So let's see if we can get Crispy in here momentarily and see if we can get his thoughts on the race as well today. And he might not. I know he got in a little later, so maybe he's taking a little bit more time to warming things up. But let's take a look at all the cars here. Looks like everybody's got their... Oh, we got a Coca-Cola car in here by Duke. And if Crispy doesn't come in a couple minutes, we'll try to get Star-Lord maybe, because he's a late entry. Get his thoughts trying to come up through the field. Maybe Amoeba. But what are you expecting out of this race today, Boberts? I mean, we got the ideas from the drivers. We got, we got some insight. We know that some of these guys are concerned on how these cars are going to handle. But, I mean, overall, I think this is going to be really interesting. What do you think?
Well, as we were touching on earlier, the fact that this is something completely new for a lot of people, it's, these trucks look like they are a little bit of a handful. Obviously, they're not the most nimble and agile things, to move around on the track, but I'm expecting, some good action-packed racing. The short circuits, really do help, and, it makes the action a lot closer. So I'm just expecting a really fun action-packed race. Simple as that.
And I think it will be too. I mean, it's not often we get these smaller tracks, Boberts, and this type of car, and I think it's going to be really interesting to see how not only these drivers, go about race number 1. What about race number 2? I mean, some of these guys got to be thinking about what they're going to do in race 1 heading into race number 2. And we got a gentleman right here who might tell us just that. But first and foremost, welcome to the broadcast booth, Amoeba. Just check your party audio box off real quick. We know that you're about to get ready for a race. We try to get your teammate Crispy in here, but I guess he doesn't want to talk to us. But Amoeba, you're a regular here at MEA. You've been a part of a few different series with us. Obviously, this is a different breed of animal. We've been getting the different thoughts of different people. We know that you're starting, I believe you're starting 3rd off the grid, if I'm correct. And you are. Now, going from race 1 to race 2, being one of those top guys in the qualifying group, obviously, if you're in the back of, behind 11th, you have more of an opportunity to start in the front in race number 2. But being one of those guys that look like going to be contending for a championship, how important is it for you to win, to go after that first win in race 1? And then what is in the back of your mind going to race 2? And what's your biggest challenge with these trucks? And it looks like your audio is not being included, Amoeba, according to somebody in the chat. But, Adam, do you have anything to ask Amoeba? Because there's just so much that we can ask right before the race, and obviously he's getting ready to prepare. Amoeba, if you could just check that box off on the Partio one more time for us, make sure. I think Let's Fly is letting us know. Oh, no, that's all right. But, Adam, what is your thoughts or any questions you have for Amoeba?
Hello, Amoeba. Good to see you again.
Hello.
Firstly. So first things first, you're not racing me, so that's obviously a bonus for you for a start.
Yeah,
you don't have to deal with me on the track. But obviously you've got to deal with a number of different drivers here. And as Steve was touching on before, the fact that we do have 2 races here. Obviously there is a reverse grid. Obviously the first race with you starting on the second row. Do you think you can get amongst Crispy, your teammate, Gigi, to battle for the win? Is that your goal, or would you rather? I suppose the better question is, would you rather finish lower in race 1 to start, have a better position for race 2, or would you rather go for the win in race 1?
I'd rather go for the win. I figure, if I finish first or second, I'm starting in about the same place in the 10th or 11th. So just do as well as I can in each race and try not to crash, try to stay on the track, and hopefully I'll be there in the end.
I suppose one other final question I do have to ask. Obviously, you have raced with quite a number of people in here in the past, but obviously, there are a number of new drivers. But do you think it's going to be quite difficult to get used to people's different driving styles, or is it more of a learning curve is it a learning curve for you? Do you think it's quite easy?
I think it's difficult. These are definitely not easy trucks to drive, so I think even if you're more experienced, they'll still be tough, and just everyone getting used to these trucks. So it'll be a challenge, but I'm ready for it.
Well, but we wish
you all
you.
the best.
Yep, just like Bobbert said right there, and obviously we're going to be keeping a close eye on you guys in the front. It looks like you guys are going to be very close. I think one of the biggest challenges for you guys is going to be the bumping and banging, trying to avoid catching that grass, like you said, and obviously with no cautions of but that's going to be a big challenge as well. How far back do you go if you get into that position, and how hard is it going to be to come back through the field? But we know that you are one of the more consistent drivers. We wish you nothing but the best today, and maybe we'll get to talk to you at the end.
All right, yeah, thanks, guys. Hopefully we'll talk to you soon.
All right, take care. All right, well, that wraps up our pre-race interviews, as it looks like they're preparing to get the lobby ready to go. And Let's Fly, we appreciate you letting us know about his audio, and we thank everybody that's being really patient. We got a great group of people watching tonight. Always a pleasure, and just a little something for everybody that is watching. Tomorrow, the finale, the MEA Proto Orca and Touring Car Championship Series comes to a close at Yas Marina, as there's 2 different titles to be told, two different drivers going at it in each group. RD Brito and SSR Yami have been going at it all season long. That's going to be one to keep an eye on. And the bigger one is in the prototypes, with only 13 points apart after qualifying today. JSR Hydra, he changed his name to Jim Hydra after joining Williams Motorsports. I do apologize. That's nothing to take away from him. But Hydra looks to try to track down Scottson to take over the win. Now, Vanquish took the point setting, so from what we know, Bobberts, is Scottson has to at least finish second into tomorrow's race to win the title. And so that's going to be really interesting to watch. So if you guys have nothing to do tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. British Standard Time tomorrow, be prepared for an amazing finale, and we're really looking forward to that. And I know Let's Fly, you're one of those guys. He's down there in the chat box. And that's been a fun series to watch. But here we get ready and prepared now, and looks like, oh, look at this. SSR Markey has made it in. And we thought he wasn't going to make it.
We've lost Eurus though, so I'm trying to get him back in if I can.
Oh yeah, they're talking in the party right now. I do have communications with that group, so we are going back and forth.
He's back.
And it looks like Eurus is back in, so 21 drivers. Wow. Let's see here.
Oh, he's got again.
Well, they're going to do everything they can. They might have to make a new lobby, and if so, then, so be it.
So be it, yep. Just turn my audio off.
And just so everyone knows, there is going to be no pace car. I know I have my pace car out for this one, but Bobberts, we don't always need a pace car, and definitely something to look at. Look at this. We got a Numi fan in the chat box. His teammate, SSR
How much are they
Shane.
being paid to say that?
That's
Jane,
good.
are you being paid?
That's a good
is he
friend
giving you
of
money
his.
for this?
Well, he's got a big task ahead of him, Shane. He starts about 12th in the field, so he's got a lot of work to do. But remember, ladies and gentlemen, there is not just one race. We know in MEA it's normally one race and we're done and we move on. But this series has 2 races. So remember, after race 1 is over, the top 11 from race 1 will be inverted into race number 2, and then the rest of the field stays the same. So a little bit of a mix-up. Now, I'm really excited, Bobbers, about the inverted field part. You know, these guys are getting, these guys are kind of getting 4 race, or not 4, but 8 race worth of points, because in each week they're getting 2 point standings, to their total. So if you win race 1, you get in that 250. If you win race 2, you get that 250. So you can get 500 points right off the bat. And I think it's going to be really interesting, because that's really going to make the points chase interesting, in my opinion.
I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, obviously we do have reverse grids in other series, but this is something different. This is an actual, as I said, it's a 2-race series per night, per week, as it were. We have the first race, obviously, based off qualifying. We have the second race based off the reverse grid from the top 11. And I think that's really going to spice it up, because that's when you've got to think then, how do those faster drivers, such as GG Racing, who does start on the pole position, how is he going to make his way through the field if he was to say to win this first race? But obviously we won't know up until obviously after 25 laps time.
And they're just talking right now. So I guess they're catching Marky up to everything. And yes, we know Marky's part of the MEA staff, but Mark does a huge part in what, goes behind the scenes here. And Bobberts, you can walk through everybody and explain what Marky actually does and why he might not be up to date on everything.
Marky is obviously one of the more fundamental staff managerial members, obviously, within both SSR and MEA. But obviously, with a lot of things that have happened to him recently, he's just trying to catch back up to speed, for both sides of the reason, let's just say. But he's getting back into Forza now after a little bit of time away and catching up to speed. So it's good to see Marky returning, for this series, and hopefully he can stay back in for the long haul. But he's got a lot of work to do. He is starting, I believe, stone dead last.
He's actually going to start in front of Star-Lord, so he is back there. And you're definitely right, Marky.
He's on the back row anyway.
Marky does not get the recognition I think he truly deserves at MEA, and we do appreciate him all the time. But a big shout out to what he does for us. He gets everything set up for MEA when it comes down to the registration part. From registration, getting the dock sheets ready to go, to the point system, to the qualifying grids, to the little live timesheets that you guys can see every week here at MEA. He does it all the time, and we would not be where we were today, or where we are today, without Marky's contributions. So I just want to give him a big shout out, a big thank you, because he has been a huge part in what MEA has become. So that being said, like Bobbert said down in the chat, what is your predictions? Race number 1 is ready to go. They are getting the trucks moving, and I'm excited about this one. I mean, this is, when they brought this idea up in the board meeting, Adam, I just remember saying, why would we do trucks? And here we are doing trucks. And
here we are doing, yep, exactly.
And, this is actually the first series that I have not actually had to do all the work. I'm actually getting to relax a lot more. For many of you that are wondering, the GT Championship Series is coming back to MEA, and that's going to require a lot of my time to prepare for it. A lot of things are changing. Some things are intermixing from Season 1 to Season 2, so that's a huge thing. But nonetheless, it's always nice to get a break, Adam. So here we go.
What is that word?
A break?
I don't know what a break is.
I don't know what a break is. Yeah.
No, you clearly don't know what a break is.
Well, we got to keep it going for all the competitors. There's all these other organizations, but we're always trying to do things that are different and get the attention of the community. But look at all these drivers. I mean, we got 21 trucks on the racetrack. Here's your pole sitter, SQD GG Racing. And the back of the field, as you see back here, this is SSR Star-Lord, because he was a late entry. You can see the beauty of his paint. It's really, really nice. All original. Unfortunately, Shane, Forza doesn't give us jumps and things like that, so we have to kind of do with what we got. But that being said, that doesn't take away from what this is going to be. Let's ride with Amoeba to start this race, as here they go, doubling up, 24 laps here at Homestead, the first of 2 races, ladies and gentlemen. And here we go, Adam. 21 drivers, race number 1, the green flag waves, and here we go. And Gigi with a nice little start to the inside. Let's look at the the rear camera view is not a big deal because this next view is going to show everything. And looks like everybody's getting through that first couple of corners all right.
Gaming just getting his wheels on the grass, losing 2 spots there, and in fact Outlaw's had a poor start himself. That mid-pack is just a cluster.
Yep, and they're all juggling. Oh, but they're in the wall, they're in the grass. They were 3 wide off of the corner there. And Outlaw drops all the way back to that first inverted, or that final inverted spot for race number 2. He's on the outside of SSR Numi, who started 12th. He's on the inside. And pretty much so far, Bobberts, nobody has really lost the pack yet. Brett Ward is going for a little bit of a... Oh, there's another grass cutter. Brett Ward, Numi.
Get your lawnmowers out.
Got the grass
I've had
up.
2 drivers have dropped off. Oh, that's a SSR's mark. He's hit the wall or spun round to the final corner. And, well, he's lost all the time of positions that he gained at the start, and 3 people have dropped off already.
Well, that's what we
Chaos,
expected
carnage.
here. That's what we
We've got
expected.
somebody else off. We've got somebody else at turn 1. That's Eurus off at turn 1 as well, and another car going, truck I should say, going sideways.
Well, here's a big mover so far of the race. SSR Uranium. He started back in the 10th spot and is already up to the 6th position. And now he's battling with BDF 48 Gaming. He goes to the inside. Overshot the corner just a little bit. And he'll take over that 5th place spot.
Firm but fair. I'll give him that, firm but fair.
And Diamond Man's trying to make the pass on BDF 48 Gaming as well. Now, he's lost 2 positions from the start of this one so far. And how about that? SMXJ Yankee, he's already up into the top 3. He started back from 7th.
It just shows, obviously, those who have kept out of the carnage at the start. Obviously, Crispy's dropped a few places on the back of Yankee as we speak, going into turn 1 with Uranium now, obviously, into that 5th place, closing down. But Gigi up in front, he's gone. I mean, Amoeba's...
Oh, but Yankee's spinning out! Oh, he saves the car! Uranium picks up the spot from that, though. Now he's side by side with BDF 48 Gaming. He's to the inside of Gaming. And he's going to try to hold on to it, but Gaming tried to hang on to the inside, wasn't able to hold on to it there, Adam.
Well, it wasn't quite. Yankee managed to just hold him off going in there, but this just shows how easy it is. You know, one small mistake in these trucks, and that's it. You've lost a few positions. Yankee's just proven it, other drivers have proven it, so consistency is key, and clearly the front 2 who are romping away from the rest of the field are clearly the ones who have got the consistency at the moment, but we've still got 21 more laps to go here, Steve.
And this
Anything
has been really fun so far in these first few laps, Bobbers. I mean, we've seen a little bit of chaos, but for the most part, they're doing all right. Do you think we'll see some lap traffic?
Well, obviously, with the nature of this track, it is, GG is still just over 1 minute 2 as the best lap so far. Last place, which is, well, I should say 21st place, which is now occupied by Marky. Somebody else just went into the grass there. Not too sure who that was, but he's already half a lap down. So it is quite possible. Are we going to see blue flags?
Oh, the question is, are they going to have room to pass these guys? Because that's the big question, too, Bobbers. I mean, when they get to the rear of the field, now remember, there was controversy at the start of the season. Would they split the field in half in 2 separate lobbies? They decided to do the full lobby. And I think it was the right decision. I think this is a lot of fun.
Oh, Yankee! Sorry, Steve. Yankee, Duke the Rebel, getting into contact with each other. And Yankee, after that great start, was in third 2 laps later. He's now into that 12th place and 1 place off from the first grid pole.
And I see that as I'm riding along with Urus right now. DR Urus, he's back there at about 12th. And he's right, they're right in front of him. He gets connected with Brentwood. He gets shoved way wide off of the final corner. Drops back to 16th. Star-Lord, on the other hand, has moved up to 14th from 21st.
Not bad from Star, trying to keep out the walls as Ranger and Yankee side by side to turn one. Yankee takes that 11th spot away, so he's gained a place back.
And I'm hopping all over the track right now. I saw.
I don't know where to go.
I know, there's so much going on.
His way up into 6th place.
T1R Oz. Oh, we haven't seen Oz in a while. He hasn't raced an MEA since last year's GT Championship Series in Season 2. Nice to see him back in racing action.
Certainly is, and obviously he's had a decent start himself, just in front of Diamond Man and Outlaw there. Outlaw, obviously, one man who's helped, pretty much helped, set this whole series up. So obviously we like to thank Outlaw for the work that he's done for this. He's currently in the 8th spot and not doing a bad job.
And Outlaw does deserve a shout out. He's the one that came up with the trophy truck idea, had put in the extra work of getting the tracks, getting the vehicles ready. We really appreciate what Outlaw has done for this series as he made it. I'm going to go check on the race leader of SQD GG Racing, the pole sitter. He is out front. He isn't too far away. Amoeba's actually right there in that bright blue car. Meanwhile, I think there's a battle for the 3rd spot. Let's go check that out. There is. It's SSR Uranium trying to take the 3rd spot away from Crispy.
And I'm just constantly flicking back and forth to see. There's battles here, there, and everywhere that you go. I think there's actually a side-by-side action between Oz and who's he alongside with? He's just lost the position, actually, to Diamond Man. Diamond Man takes that 6th place.
And
so
look at that.
Next 3-way battle here, and Outlaw's joined the group.
Numi is moved up to the 9th spot. So he's moved up a few positions. He started back there from 12th.
I think he capitalized on Yankee and Rebels.
You gotta think, we're not even halfway yet, but this is really, really good stuff. It looks like Markey has caught up to somebody back there. Nope, Markey has moved up to 19th. He's getting some passes in. Track Johnny is the 17th. Trying to find... It's hard to pick a battle out right now.
Sunset Ren, who's in 21st, has just gone for a nice little spin on the grass. And I think he's having difficulty turning that thing around. He's actually going to get lapped. Or is he... Yes, he's not far off being lapped now, unfortunately.
And we're going to... that's the one thing about some of these cars, Bobberts. Oh, man, he's all over the place. Oh, he's got lead cars. I wonder if he's got damage. We shouldn't have damage. He's feeling tired. No, he's okay. Nah, he's
just having a few little difficulties.
He's having some difficulties.
A few little technical gremlins.
And right behind him, this man right here, GG Racing, looking to put the first driver a lap down. And for everyone watching, what do you think so far? This is pretty intense. And
so
GG
I'm impressed with so far,
to the
Steve.
inside.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Just saying, I'm impressed with Uranium. He's had a good start, and he's on the back of Crispy here for that final podium paying position at the moment. He's got BDF Gaming behind him, so a nice little group of 3 here. And he's having a solid race in Uranium.
Uranium recently joining SSR about a couple months ago. This is his first league race representing Slapshift Racing, and not disappointing yet, definitely for sure. It looks like he's having fun out there, and that's the most important thing. He's also got BDF 48 Gaming back there, the guy who he kind of nipped out of the way to get that spot from him. But this is a 3-car battle for 3rd.
Certainly is. Well, the gaps is now slowly starting to appear. Oh, as we had a little bit of bump and bang between Brentwood and Alerty for that 14th spot. Starlord now in front of these guys. He's moved his way up into 13th, so Starlord doing a good job moving his way from the back through the field. But yeah, the gaps are starting to appear as the pace difference is showing. But there are still these little clusters, groups of 3 people, still somewhat close together. As to think, actually. Yes, BDF has dropped off a little bit. I think he's made a small mistake, but I'm just watching this battle for 14th here, Steve. It's actually died down now that I say that.
And I just hopped on Brentwood there. Who's back there? That's DOR Urus. Oh, wait a minute. Alerty! He's gotten loose! He's able to hold on to the truck. Excuse me, everyone. That was not right. Anyways, talk about a commentating burp.
Well, not curse, but burp, everybody.
Curse, but burp. And I'm going to hop on Sensei Renee. He's actually in a really bad spot. Don't hit him! Hang on, Renee. Renee's just trying to stay out of the way. I think he's just having some fun out there, and that's the most important thing about this. You know, we talked about guys just having fun. Just have some fun with it.
Dude, I mean, you know, there's not to say you don't have to take this series seriously, because they can. But this is just a little bit of fun. It's something completely different. You know, small little mini-series, just something completely different to what we normally do in MEA, and this is brilliant racing.
And it looks like Sensei Renee... looks like he's...
lag out.
No, I believe he's quitting. Yep, he definitely backed out of that one. And he is pulled out. So we'll have to see if he stays for race 2.
Oh, 3 wide for that 11th spot. Star-Lord now takes that 11th spot, Steve.
And Star-Lord, he's moved back from last all the way up to 11th. That's
Ray just missed his braking zone. Oh, man, he keeps the truck just about on the track, but he lost a ton of positions there.
You say Ranger?
Yes. Sorry, just taking a drink myself.
It's definitely...
The road's already going dry. This just shows how long it's been, everybody, since I've been doing this commentating business. 12 laps.
Side by side on the front straight. He goes to the inside of Brentwood for the 13th spot.
Gigi's pulled out a 6-second gap all of a sudden. I wonder if Amoeba's had an issue.
Well, Amoeba said one of the biggest challenges was staying with those guys up front and being consistent. And I think the consistency of Gigi right now is really showing, as he's just doing a phenomenal job staying out front and not really making any mistakes.
I've just noticed we've lost BDF Gaming.
BDF 48 Gaming has lagged out of this one. That's tough. That's tough. Well, hopefully he'll be back for race 2, as obviously that's definitely unfortunate.
Yeah, it was running solidly in that 5th spot, obviously on the back of Uranium. So it's a shame for BDF to, have lost out, so early in the first race. Oh, just missing T1R also made a mistake himself.
And for everybody that is watching, the guys that did disconnect out of race 1, we will give them a moment to try to get back into race 2. It's very unfortunate that it happened, but there's things that we can't do. But they'll still be getting their points, so that's the most important thing. They'll get those last couple positions in race 1, and basically you just got to go about it with what you got. But there's a battle for third still between Uranium and Crispy.
Excuse me, well, Uranium is still impressing me, because Crispy obviously qualified in that 2nd spot. Where did Uranium qualify? Was he the back end of the top 10? If I remember correctly?
He started 10th.
And he started bang on 10th. And the fact that he's keeping up with the guy who started 2nd on the grid, he's doing a great job. In fact, he's actually just closed that gap a little bit. I wonder if he actually might make a look at him in these next 10 laps. Obviously, plenty of time left. 10 laps to go. Or 11 laps to go, I should say. And he's there. He's going to give Crispy a hard time.
And Crispy's doing a great job playing defensively, though. I mean, he's really kept himself in position of just maintaining that 3rd spot. Crispy obviously started 2nd, but his teammate Amoeba, he's definitely showing the strength. And, Bobberts, as exciting as race 1's going to be, I think race 2's going to be a lot more hectic with those top 11 guys.
Oh, definitely. The fact that we do have that reverse grid, it's going to... And the fact, obviously, that even as we had the 10th place man who's running 4th, it just shows that everyone's got the pace. And, if we find this, if Gigi does hang on to win this race with 10 laps to go now, he does start in that 11th spot, how is he going to make his way through the field? He's got to be cautious, but he's got to be quietly aggressive at the same time to make sure that he gets through the field, doesn't lose too much time.
And he put down Relito, it looks like, lap 15. Let's go check out another battle on the racetrack. 6th and 7th, T1R Oz against SSR Outlaw for that 6th spot. SSR Numi right behind them in that 8th. He's actually defending
Outlaw
Duke the
seems to
Rebel
be-
right now.
He is. Outlaws just seems to have been stuck behind us for the last few laps now, trying to find out through, but because obviously Diamond Man passed us about 4 laps ago now, and he's managed to just get away from these two, and is on his own in that 5th spot.
It looks like
Outlaws
Oz is just
not been
doing
able
really
to-
good defensively, though. I mean, that's what it looks like from my end.
Oh, it is. I think Outlaw has the faster truck. I think he's probably the slightly faster driver, but he just can't find a way through. Has a little bit of a moment just before the start of this chicane, but this Outlaw just can't seem to do anything.
And right behind them, catching up, Numi and Duke the Rebel.
Indeed,
Those
as GG
Guys are
is
battling
now
for 8th.
the GG now about to take his next victim, Raulito, about to put him a lap down now, as he's on his 16th lap compared to Raulito on his 15th. But you know, it's all in good spirits here. I think you know, Raulito will improve his pace. He'll get quicker.
And Raulito was one of
It's
the
nice to see new people.
for sure, and he was actually one of the guys that missed qualifying. So he started, I think, 19th. So he's running consistent. It's always a good thing. Obviously, a couple of lag outs, but nonetheless, Raulito's actually wanted to compete in, I believe, the GT series of last year, and just wasn't able to make it. So, like you said, it's always exciting to see new guys, new faces, as GG got around him with ease. And moving up, we'll see there's a battle. Nope, Marquis passed Savitar. Track Johnny's moved up to 16th. Actually, there's a battle for the 15th position between Alerty and Track Johnny.
They spread themselves out a bit more again now, as Duke the Rebel made a mistake into the chicane. So he just dropped off a little bit. He is still trying to close down his teammate Outlaw, and their pace seems to be quite leveled out, so I don't think there's going to be any team orders here as such between the two SSR drivers. But Outlaw, again, still not able to find a way past T1R Oz. As one thing I can see, Steve, is Diamond Man is slowly but surely closing in on Crispy and Uranium.
And what would that be if there's only a couple laps left and he can get to the back end of them? And what kind of driving Uranium would have to do at that point? Because then he's not only worrying about being attacking, but now he has to be defensively. And as a driver in the middle of that group, you got to pick and choose where you want to have your battles and where you don't want to have your battles.
You don't want to be caught in too much, but they're not right. Do I go and try and make a lunge? Do I see a gap, go for it, back out, and then be put under pressure for the next corner by the guy behind you? It's really difficult decisions that you have to make.
Well, this just in, Duke the Rebel taking over the 8th spot from SSR Numi. Got him right and easy in turn 1, took his time, was patient, and now he can try to go track down Outlaw and Oz, who this battle just doesn't seem like it wants to end.
Oh, definitely doesn't. I think Outlaw's got his best run
He's
though
going
at the
to the
moment. He's going to make it on the inside. He
inside.
sticks his nose in.
Oh, he's going to do a crossover!
Inside, Outlaw.
Oh, wait a minute!
Oh!
Oz just turned it in a little too much there to try to keep him at bay, and that got Outlaw into the wall just a little bit there. I mean, that's a questionable call, but these trucks are difficult to drive, and I'm sure he didn't mean to do that nonetheless. But Duke the Rebel had to hold off Numi there off of the final corner. Star-Lord's showing into the picture, though.
Yeah, he's on his own. He's slowly catched up. Ranger. Yankees now dropped down to 14th place. He's had the most up and down race I think I've seen.
And he has, and he's following DOR Urus right now in that 13th spot. And, you know, it's got to be very frustrating for a driver. And you do so well, and then all of a sudden things are going south. But, I mean, he's still in contention to, getting into the top 11. Now, obviously, Brentwood is the 12th place car in front of them, and he would need LMP Ranger to make a huge mistake. But nonetheless, I mean, I mean, they're working hard out there. I think everybody's battling with the same issues as the other. I just think it's been a lot of fun to watch and see how these guys have unfolded. As Markey now battling for the 16th spot with Alerty. Markey trying to do a little bit of rebounding after that early race incident.
Indeed he is, and well, again,
To the inside.
These trucks as he goes down the inside of Alerty, and that's a clean move, but Alerty trying to come back at him. And he goes around the outside.
Yeah, nice pass to the outside by Alerty, and Markey made the move.
them.
Gigi's taking no prisoners right now, and he's just running his race. He's doing a phenomenal job doing it. And we're talking about a guy that just hasn't really made any mistakes since the start of this race.
Indeed, I think he's been the only driver potentially that's not made any big mistakes. He's got a 10-second lead currently over second place man MEA, which is pretty much that whole front straightaway. So Gigi's clearly not only got the one-lap pace,
Alerty made a mistake.
Also got the race pace.
Oh, this is a tough spot for Gigi. He's got two drivers battling for position in front of him. He's got to be patient. Markey to the inside of Alerty once again, side by side going into the mid-straight. And Gigi's like, oh man, what do I do?
I think he's just going to have to hold back, sit back and wait for them to just do this out.
He's got a 10-second lead. It's not like he really has to be too... Oh, but Markey Alerty get connected! Oh!
Just on it for him. I don't think he lost anything in the end.
Well, Markey got the position. Gigi got by without having to really fight. Alerty, kind of the big loser of that whole group. Unfortunately, but he's right there, so he could try to make it, you know, he could try to pass again, as looks like Retward and Urus are still battling for 12.
Outlaw down the inside of Oz. And has he got it this time? He's going to be around the outside.
Oh!
Puts him into the tyre barrier. That's, yeah, questionable again. I think that may have to be checked.
That was definitely, you know, the one thing that might be an issue, it could be the connection. Well, obviously we can't see it that well as other people can as we get on Outlaw. Now, Outlaw's only lost 2 positions, but Duke the Rebel, if you know any history of Duke the Rebel, he is kind of a little temperamental too. So this is going to be interesting to watch.
I know. And the fans have now caught
they caught Ralito
in the 19th place. Yeah, a bit of a bad spot. So Duke the Rebel's got a great Ralito, gets onto the grass to let him through. So Duke the Rebel's going to be on the outside. Oz comes across him. Gives Oz a little tap into the corner. This is take 2.
And Numi to the inside.
And Numi takes 7th place.
And this is getting really, really hectic.
Still side by side, but Duke backs off. Numi does take 7th place, and Outlaw's now back on them again.
Oh boy, there's only 2 laps to go as well. Rolito's like, hey guys, can I join in? I'm still here. They're doing everything they can out there.
Seems to have got a little bit of breathing space. Now they're doing, oh, Duke trying to stick his nose in turn 2. Numi's not, oh, they've locked together. Falls of logic. Outlaw now going for the cutback on his teammate. Ow. Gross. No lunge there from Outlaw on his teammate. He does not want to get into heat with his own, obviously with his own compatriot. SQDGG Racing starts his penultimate lap. He's got a 10.5-second lead, Steve, and you got to think he's cruising.
Oh, for sure. I mean, if you look at the race map, we'll get the race map pulled up here for everybody. He's look at where, I mean, look where Amoeba is, and then look where Gigi is. Gigi's coming off that backstretch as Amoeba's midway through it, and oh, but look at this, Duke the Rebel to the inside of Oz.
Remember how we discussed Diamond Man potentially catching Uranium and Crispy? He's there. He's just about there now, with just over a lap to go. As
trying
I
to
do
get
the
to the
riddle, how does
inside
that
of
pass
us.
Oh, a little bit of touchy again. That's just everyone's different braking zones as Oz trying to hold up. There's an Outlaw trying to take advantage of his teammate.
Oh boy,
Outlaw
Outlaw's
takes
right
place.
there. Outlaw's right there. And
Oh, and he's on the grass.
oh, white
He
flag.
got the lawnmower out. GG Racing already started his last lap. He's already halfway around the last lap as he's catching up to another to track Johnny. But I don't think he's going to try and pass him.
And goes right underneath Johnny. The checkered flag is about to come in the air. Race 1 goes to SQD. GG Racing. Is Uranium still battling with Crispy? He is. And Diamond Man's right there too. They're coming around the last couple of turns now.
I'm just watching this battle for 7th. Now Oz made a mistake. Numi trying to stick his nose in again. Oz defending for all he's worth. It looks like he's going to hang on. Oh, Numi's had a bad run. How is he going to be through the chicane? Can Outlaw take advantage? Doesn't look like it.
Nope, and Oz will maintain 7th.
It will, and start.
Raulito's does go back around again.
Last to 10th.
For sure, and you know, Starlord is going to be interesting to watch because these guys are getting that inverted field, and obviously Crispy's going to start on the pole, but Crispy wasn't able to hang with Starlord too long after. Not sure if he had some issues or not, but it's going to be interesting to see how these guys in the front react to race number 2. Gigi, obviously, he's going to start 11th in the second. And let me see here.
I doubt Fall's logic here. Apparently Oz did 391 miles an hour. I'll be seeing that speedometer, please.
All right, and we just need to get BDF 48 gaining back. Same with Sensei Renee. They're going to have to start the last 2 spots for race number 2.
Well, I will say that was a fantastic race, action-packed throughout. I hope everybody else enjoyed it as much as we did here in the commentary box.
Oh, for sure, and race number 2 is getting set up now as this is going to finish up. And obviously, MEA is actually looking into the whole Oz Outlaw scenario here, as we need to get BDF 48 Gaming back, as he's waiting on the main menu. And SMX Renee, now I have a feeling Renee's not going to come back, but I hope he does. Let's try to get him back in here again. He got off Forza. He
Just be
probably
patient.
won't make it.
Yankee's gone.
We need to get Yankee back.
Wonder if he thinks it's just one race.
We'll let him know. We'll get him back in here. No big deal. So there's a second race coming up next, everybody, so just stay tuned.
Everyone just take a little breather, go get yourselves a drink, get ready for this action-packed reverse grid second race.
Yankee said, oh.
Uranium with the easy message there to me, so, well, if it was that easy, why didn't you win? It's as simple as that.
and Oz is getting a warning for the way he was driving in race 1.
I suppose it's a fair assumption of how that race went. Well, not so much how that race went, but that incident, sorry, with Outlaw, and well, at least it doesn't fully punish him, but it just make sure that hey, if you do that again, then you will be penalised further. So it doesn't completely ruin his races, but it make sure he keeps on his toes.
For sure. And see here. And Yankee said he's on his way back. He said so we have one driver under the influence right now. Oh, man.
Well, just look, we've only got 18 drivers in here, so obviously we lost BDF. Is he coming back in?
Who are we waiting for? Yankee just came back. We're still trying to get BDF 48 Gaming back. They're probably going to give them like a 5-minute break or so.
Yeah, I think since Renee had completely, so I think unfortunately. Oh, BDF looks like he's me. I think he's wanting to get him back in BDF, so it looks like he is going to be returning. Which is always great to see, considering as well he was one of the faster qualifiers, so it'll be interesting to see how he comes through from the back of the field.
For sure.
So then guys, obviously after that really interesting and action-packed first race, what do you think is going to happen with this second race with that reverse grid? Obviously it's going to completely change the top 11 around. Who do you think will take advantage? What's your predictions? Get them in. Let us know.
Hey, I'm just handling some stuff here. And what are you expecting for race 2, Bobberts?
Carnage. As BDF has thankfully joined us back, so there we go. That's excellent. Good to see him back in again.
All right, so good to see, good to see. I mean, there's a good possibility that his connection is bad. Now, he is also stating that he feels that he's getting punted in the back. And we obviously don't run certain time zones here. We run everybody in the same lobby, so obviously that's really important to try to get anybody and everybody together. Because honestly, nobody wants to just race within their one group. They all want to get in. They all want to get involved. And that's the important thing, trying to get everybody in the mix. So, we obviously don't try. We try to observe every situation with what it is. But and when you run people off into a wall, and you're overly trying to run people side by side, you got to kind of be a little bit more patient. But nonetheless, it was a lot of fun, that battle between Oz and Outlaw and all those guys. It's been really, really interesting. Just got to be careful out there. And Bobbers, you know a little bit about being careful. And obviously these trucks are meant to beat and bang against each other. It's just one of those deals that you can't be overly driving the car, trying to defend your spot and then wrecking somebody else in the process.
No, I mean, obviously, in the wise words, rubbing is racing to an extent. Obviously, just to, not to get them loose or put them off track, but obviously, just to open the space up a little bit for you. That's fair enough. Obviously, you've got to make sure you give people the space they're not then forced off the track. This is a very tight, twisty natured circuit, obviously with it being the Homestead mini circuit. There isn't a lot of space a lot of the time, especially down. in that little tight, twisty hairpin section. So there is a tyre wall that does stick out a lot closer compared to the rest of the track. So hopefully, fingers crossed, this second race we don't have anybody getting put into the wall.
Well,
I think, by the looks of it,
BDF got back
we might be
in.
ready to go. He is, yes. I think we need to wait for you to spectate.
Oh, am I not on there yet? Okay, I think they're just waiting for BDF
You are
to get
now.
set up. I feel bad for him because I love BDF's paint scheme. I didn't even realize this till now. He has an Oreo 48 Jimmy Johnson style looking car. It's pretty sick.
Jimmy Johnson fanboy there over there, clearly.
It is in his gamer profile.
Well, that says it all. Just having a look at some of these myself. You've got, Track Johnny with the bright orange 7-Eleven paint scheme going on there. I mean, that's just... I think you need sunglasses to look at that.
And it looks like Sensei Renee's internet's not working well, so it looks like he will probably be missing race 2, and it looks like they're not going to wait. They're going to get ready here. So race number 2, LMP Ranger going to start us off on the front row next to Star-Lord. And look at that, Outlaw Numi, second row, Oz Duke the Rebel, row 3. And then there's GG Racing way in 11th.
Well, he's just got to bide his time, see what he can do. It's still another long race, 24 full proper laps after the pace lap. Anything can happen.
It looks like Sensei Renee will miss 2.
Yeah.
And by rule of MEA, Sensei Renee will get points for the second race. He will get 21st position points. So, though he will miss the second race, he was here. Connection issues and obviously things that we can't control. But it still keeps him relevant in the point standings, and that's always a huge thing, Bobberts. And that's what we love about MEA. So I think the point system here is very fair for many people.
It is, obviously, he did obviously race in the first race. Obviously, he had his issues, had a few problems, but the fact of the matter is he turned up, he did what he could do, and that's all you asked for.
And I needed a little swig of water myself there, Bobberts, as this commentary stuff does get dry.
It does, but, well, many things do, Steve, but we're about to get rocking and rolling for this second race here, as LMP Ranger is going to be the lead pole man from Star-Lord. And Star-Lord, I think, is one to watch here, Mayhem, because of his great run in that first one, starting last and moving his way up into 10th place. So he starts P2. I think he's a dark horse for this win.
Well, here we go. Another 24 laps of racing action. The final race of week number 1 here at Homestead. LMP Ranger leads the field at lap number 1. And here they go.
The back of the field did not manage to catch up in time, but we're going green anyway.
Star-Lord with a crossover.
Immediately.
Oh, side by side going into 2 and 3.
Is he gonna have the edge on him into turn 3? It doesn't look like it. Rangers
still side by side. Oh, they connect. 3 wide.
Give Outlaw.
And Duke the Rebel.
Just about Duke the Rebel. Out of nowhere. Where did he come from? Where's Star-Lord? Star-Lord's gone down to 7.
Oh, Duke the Rebel hit the tire wall. Ranger is getting away. And Duke the Rebel, he's all the way back. He's so far back now. He's in. Oh my gosh, uranium. Oh, but there's another accident in the back. It looks like SSR Markey. No, it's not Markey. I don't know who it is. I'm trying to find it. It's Savitar. It's Savitar. Oh man. Some tough luck for some of these guys early on here, Bobberts.
It is as well. I think Amoeba got caught up as well.
Battle.
She's down to the 14th spots.
Battle for 7th. GG Racing and SSR Star-Lord side by side. Star-Lord tried to nip the inside. Couldn't do it.
this is the thing, Gigi's only made 4 places up on that first lap and a bit, and yes, the front 3 have got a bit of a gap, but do you think he'll get to the front, Steve? Is that, what do you think, considering the pace that he had in that first race?
Oz! Oh, Newey, Oz! Yankee! Look at Newey, he's trying to start the car! Oh my gosh, Bradward battling! Newey lost the car, he spun around! And Newey, what rotten luck for him. These guys are really anxious in the second race, Bobberts.
I thought the first race was action at the first few laps. There's even more in this because of that reverse grid, but that's unfortunate for Newey because he was up there. Started in P3, P4, I believe, and now he's down to 17th. He's got a lot of work to do.
And here's a battle right here between Uranium and Yankee for the 11th spot, or the 10th spot, I'm sorry. Yankee gave Uranium a little bit of a nudge, got him a little loose to the outside.
I think he's now side by side with the 12th
the
place.
Rebel.
There's Duke the Rebel, who's trying to make his way through about after him being
And
the
LMP
tire war.
Amoeba.
I mean, there's Amoeba.
I won't lie, when Duke hit that tire wall, I almost laughed. I'm sorry. I mean, it just... when the car completely comes to a stop for whatever reason out of nowhere, I mean, what are you supposed to do?
Oh, Rangers made a big mistake. He was leading. He's now down in 5th. I've missed that. Outlaw is your race leader.
And he is so. And here's GG Racing battling with FDR Brentwood for the 8th spot. Goes to the inside of Brentwood.
Made the lunge, but made it work.
And for AMR Light, I'm sorry, these cars can go on asphalt, they can go on dirt. These are all-around cars. When these guys race in real life, they got different terrains. Actually, sometimes, a lot of the times, the cars go from dirt to asphalt to mud to whatever, sand. So these are all-around cars. It's just, unfortunately, with Forza, we don't have the capabilities of adding jumps and dirt piles. And so they can do a little bit of everything.
GG trying to go on the inside of Eurus now, trying to take 2 places in 1 lap here. Eurus having absolutely none of it, shuts the door, slams it shut. GG has to stay behind, but Starlord's got ahead of Ranger for 5th.
And GG's doing it. He's got a lot of work to go here, though. But you know what? GG had the pace in that last race. I think he's going to have the pace in the second race. If he can get some passes in, get into that open air, not have to battle too much, I think he might be able to pull this off. But he's having a really hard time right now with Eurus.
I honestly think he's too far behind already. I mean, Outlaw's got a 102.3 in clean air, and yes, GG did nip into the 101s in the previous race, but with 20 laps to go, and that gap is already a good 8 to 10 seconds to Outlaw. I think he's too far back, but a podium is still possible. You never know, though. I have been proven wrong many times before. Would not be a first.
When we pull up the race map, you can see the spread of the cars. Pretty much everyone's around each other. Mark's moved up to 13th since he started back in that 17th spot. BDF 48 Gaming's up to 15th. He's in the middle of a battle with, looks like, Jay Yankee there. Meanwhile, Diamond Man is the guy that's hunting the man Outlaw for the race lead. Third is T1R Oz. He's currently in that 3rd spot. Oh, but Oz hits the grass and he's off the racetrack. He's losing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, but he hits Eurus really hard on the side, and it's 3 wide in the 3. JJ Racing down to the inside, and he pulls off the... Oh, no, he doesn't. They're still side by side. Oh, my goodness. They're still side by side off the corner.
Oh, look again at those. GG getting sideways off the exit. Oz now back in the 8th spot with that mistake. GG trying to go on the outside. Eurus is trying to shut the door on him. GG having absolutely not a...
Oh, Eurus hits the tire wall. I'm not sure if he got a nudge there off of Oz,
I think there was a very, very small amount of contact, but it was enough to put him in. It was actually from GG. GG just a small amount of contact put him into the tire barrier.
So Eurus gets back on the racetrack. He's dropped back to 12th. He falls behind LMP Amoeba, and he has a fast driver right behind him, BDF 48 Gaming.
Dude, you got a lot of these, guys who are at the front in qualifying having difficulty getting through the field. Obviously, GG starting to now get through the field. Takes a bit longer than what I thought, but the top two are getting away, and Diamond Man is closing in on Outlaw. The Scotsman, I believe, Diamond Man, trying to battle the Texan.
And we're going to ride along with Diamond Man here. And you're right. It looks like he's actually reeling in Outlaw. And, Diamond Man in race 1 had a really good race, Roberts. I mean, he was moving up through the field, and he got as far as, I believe, 5th or 4th? Let's go back and take a look at the first standings here as I pull him up right now. He was 5th overall, so he had a really good run in the first race. So, I mean, I can see he has a really good shot at winning this. But it looks like, Outlaw's one of those guys that can run a consistent lap, and if he can stay consistent, he shouldn't have too many problems doing so. Meanwhile, LMP Ranger right now is in battles, but GG Racing, race 1 winner. And GG, he's trying to get back up to the field.
He is, and he's done another PB in this second race already compared to race 1, so he means business. He's trying to get up to the top 2. You can see the gap ahead, and you can see third place isn't that far ahead, but look, there's second place. He's got into the hairpin now. He knows that's a big gap to try and claw, but first things first, he's got to pass Ranger.
And looks to the inside. He might try to do a crossover here. He does!
Oh,
Ranger hits the wall! Oh,
and
and he stalled the truck. He lost so many positions. Oh my gosh. So Ranger goes from, 6th or 7th? No, 5th. He was 6th. He's dropped all the way back to 11th. And you know what I've noticed?
Ranger.
You know what I've noticed is everybody's making the same mistake in the same spot of the track. It's that one little left-hander there. Honestly, that tire wall has gotten several cars from between 1 and 2 races here. And GG's up to 5th now.
It is, yeah.
And Star-Lord's the next guy he's got to get around. Uranium has moved up to 7th. He's trying to track down Oz. He's got Duke the Rebel and Amoeba right behind him. Let's ride with Outlaw.
I mean, look, you've got the top 2, sort of distancing from Crispy, Star-Lord, and GG who are trying to close in. You've got Oz on his own, then you've got that train of trucks. You've got Uranium leading that in 7th, Duke in 8th, Amoeba 9th, Brentwood rounding out the top 10, but it goes all the way back to 14th place, Itasan Numi. And those trucks are about 100 feet apart from each other. Eurus has now got a good run on BDF Gaming, who had a bit of a mistake through that. As Ranger once again nearly coming in close with the tire. I think he loves those tire walls.
Well, we got to keep an eye on this battle for the lead, because this is definitely interesting to watch, as Diamond Man's really putting on a good show right now. Crispy's got to defend Star-Lord and GG here.
It looks to me like Outlaw's just about got the measure of Diamond Man. They seem to be better in different parts of the racetrack, and I think they're just measuring each other. As Star-Lord closes in on Crispy, and GG closes in on Star-Lord. So it's a three-way battle here for the final podium paying position.
And Star-Lord's going to have to either decide, does he want to play defensively, or is he going to let GG by?
I think if you're Star-Lord, you want to keep GG behind you, because yes, you probably know he's the faster driver, but you want to get that podium. You want to say, look, this is where I started today, there's where I was after race 1, and this is where I am after race 2, just to show that I belong here.
So right now...
Oh, as he goes sideways through turn 1.
Star-Lord held on to it, though, that's for sure.
Oh,
look at this! GG to the inside! See, and this is the thing. GG, if he can get around Crispy within the next lap and a half, I mean, he gives himself an opportunity, because if Outlaw has to start defending against Diamond Man, then GG will have time to creep up as well. And I mean, we can't count out Crispy either. Crispy's running a really solid 2-second race here, and he's definitely putting in every bit of what he's got into this car. But look at GG. I mean, he's taking a completely different line than everybody, and he's really making it work.
He knows how this truck works. I think he's probably done a lot of practice to try and get the best out of these trucks that he can. but he's clearly knows where the perfect lines are. He knows when to go on the throttle, off the throttle, and it just shows. Obviously, he's past Starlord, and now he's on the back of Crispy, and Outlaw is now only 8 tenths ahead of Diamond Man, so Diamond Man closing in on the back of that race lead. And if they start duking it out as GT, if he was to get ahead of Crispy, that just plays into his hands.
We got a battle in the back of the field, and it looks like LMP Ranger, BDF Gaming, they're battling for 10th. Meanwhile, 12th, 13th, and 14th is a battle between Brentwood, Urus, and Numi. Urus to the inside of Brentwood in turn 2, side by side as to go through the S section here. Numi right there in the back, waiting to pounce. And BDF 48 Gaming, Bobberts, he's come back from last all the way up to 11th.
Oh, GG round the outside. Can he make this work? Still side by side with Crispy, but Crispy has the inside. Surely he's covered him off, and he just about has.
Good
Great
defending.
racing for the two of them there, side by side for 3 corners there. That was brilliant racing for the two of them.
And I'm sorry I wasn't on. I was on a completely different battle in the back.
They're probably saying this battle, Steve, this is hotting up very nicely as GG once again going to have another run at. Oh, look at how much he closes in on Crispy through between 1 and 2. Easy going to have a look to 3. No, Crispy dives to the inside, covers the line, gives GG no option but to try somewhere else. Now he's going to go for a wider, tighter entry then into the corner to give him a better exit.
He's got the exit. It looked like he had the exit, but I think he hit the back of Crispy's car. Or truck, I'm sorry. He goes to the left. He goes to the outside of Crispy. Maybe a cutback. No, he does.
Exactly what happened last time. He's not alongside him this time, but Starlord, I think, is right behind them again. And indeed he is.
Starlord's probably just waiting for a mistake. He's a very patient guy.
I think that's behind them. Oh, also Uranium side by side as well now, Steve. Oh, Oz goes off the track. Was there a little bit of banging there? I think so. Uranium lets Oz back through.
And Amoeba and Duke are now in the mix as well.
Battles here, there, and everywhere. As Outlaw once again is pulling away from Diamond Man. So Diamond Man may have had a mistake, but we've got 10 to go.
Uranium to the inside of Oz! And Duke tries to follow. And Oz threw the car in there. Wow. Apparently not happy with Duke or something. But those two were going at it since race 1, so I mean, I think a rivalry is happening.
Amoeba's on there. I think, Amoeba's decided he wants to go onto the grass as Duke tries to late break it on Oz, and that's just not working.
And, Oz almost clipped the tire wall. So Uranium broke free.
Oh, once again, GG's got to run. GG has a run the side-by-side, Steve, down the main straight.
Oh, he's got the advantage to the outside line.
Yeah, as Crispy backs out. Crispy had to back out, and he's through.
So is there enough time for GG to try to catch up to the leaders? He's not that far off. It's got a lot of work to do.
Order, but you never know.
And Starlord's trying to do some battling with Crispy right there. Let's go back to that 6th, 7th, and 8th place battle right now. And 9th place battle. Duke and Oz, they've been going at it since race 1. And this hasn't made it easy on them. That's for sure.
Amoeba not had the best of races, I think, for me, but obviously he may have got caught up with something on the opening lap or two. I mean, he's gone back into 9th place, but this was your 2nd place drive at the end of race 1, so hopefully see if he can get a few more spots here so he doesn't lose out too much on GG. But obviously GG, after winning race 1, currently 3rd here in race 2, having a very good opening start to his Truck Series series.
And Duke's going to have to work real hard here. What are we going to say?
It's consistency. This is the thing. Drivers need the consistency, and this is what GG has got. Oh, Duke to the inside.
They're going at it.
To the inside again. Oh,
and they connect.
He just gives him a little love tap, and Amoeba goes through, takes advantage, and now he's going to have a run on Oz. needs to get off the grass, though. That's not going to make you go any faster than me, but I'll admit.
And BDF 48 Gaming's in the mix now, too. Running in that 10th spot. He's ran one heck of a race.
He is after starting last, obviously, for his connection issues. It's good to see him back into the top 10 and pulling away from the group behind, and now onto this, making this a four-way battle. Obviously, BDF and Duke, I believe, Steve, are good friends, if I'm not mistaken.
They are, and Amoeba's got to deal with Oz right now, but now Duke's got to deal with his buddy in crime, BDF 48 Gaming.
As you can see, this just shows that. Oh, I thought BDF a little tap there on Duke. Just shows how much time they're losing. Uranium, who managed to get ahead of Oz. Look how much he's pulling away. So just shows how much time they're losing. I mean, just looking a bit further back, Numi is not far off the back of Eurus, but I think this is the main battle here, Steve, for that 7th through 10th.
And it definitely is, and here they are all lined up again.
Oh, Duke trying to stick his nose in there. Okay, I think, is he going for it into the chicane? No, but he's not got the best line. Oz is literally, I mean, I know these trucks are quite big in size, but he's more like a bus in terms of defending.
And there they go again. Turn 2, nose to tail. Uranium's just getting away. No problems. He says, you guys deal with all that carnage. I'll stay away. Diamond Man still trying to track down the man, SSR Outlet, who's been leading this race.
Oh, BDF down the inside of Duke. A little bit of a late lunge there. I don't know if he missed his braking point or he just didn't want to hit him. Oh, they've false a connecting logic. But Duke manages to hang on to that 9th place. But now they have their little skirmish, it just means that Oz and Amoeba have managed to pull a good 8 to 10
And Amoeba's looking to the inside.
The inside.
He gets there, he taps Oz, the back bumper, and Oz runs back
Oz
into
having
him.
none of it. Having a nice little run through that little run there through turns 2 and 3. Managed to pull out a few car lengths and trying to have a look at there. Chris Starlord and Crispy very close to one another still for that P4 and P5. Starlord still not been able to get around Crispy as there's literally nothing between them. As you can see, GG he's gaining on the front 2, but with 5 to go, I don't think he's going to have enough time. But it's still been a stellar performance by GG so far.
Right now, we'll keep an eye on this battle.
That's as well, Steve. There's a nice little three-way battle going for 11,
Oh,
12,
look at this. Amoeba
13.
to the inside. Amoeba gets into the inside. Duke goes with him. And here we go with all this carnage.
Oh! Duke and BDF collecting each other. I don't think there was enough room there. Is Oz going to send it down the inside of Amoeba? It doesn't look like so. It looks like Amoeba's got them done. Duke's got to be thinking, what have I got to do to get past him?
So Amoeba breaks free, and now Duke's got to work on him. And there's only 3 laps to go.
I think Rangers hit the tyre barrier again. He's now gone down into 16th and behind Markey. I might be wrong, but he was 11th not 10
Oh,
seconds ago.
Ralito, he's out on the grass.
Oh, they're still going at it. Surprised the MEA hasn't fully checked out yet. I mean, but you know, it's BDF sends it down on two.
They're side by
Seems having
side.
absolutely none of it.
Oh no!
Oh, that's a tiny
Oh no! Oh, gaming smacks the tire wall. Oh no! He did such a good job getting back up to the top 10. Oh man!
He's still in the top 10. He didn't lose a position, but he's just lost a lot of time.
The battle between Starlord and Uranium just ended as Uranium got by Starlord for the 5th spot.
Oh, Starlord must have made a mistake off camera. So yeah, Uranium now into the top 5, having a solid race. And he's gaining. He is gaining on the top 2, Steve. But I think it's pretty much too little, too late as Outlaw now onto the back of Saboteur to put him a lap down.
2 to go. But he's in lap traffic.
Outlaw,
He's
can
in lap
Dynamite
traffic.
Take advantage.
GG is not far away, so something was to happen here.
Saboteur moves
Saboteur
over.
says, hey, I'm going to move over. So he didn't make him work for
Very
it.
nice of him. Very nice. That's nice of Saboteur. Obviously, realising the leaders are coming through, does not want to get in the way and ruin their races. So that's fair play, and I think he's going to do it again, and indeed he does. So that's nice from Saboteur. I appreciate that.
It looked like he slowed down Diamond Man, though, in that section because Diamond Man was looking to go full length on the outside, and it looked like he had to adjust a little bit. So it might have actually affected Diamond Man a little more than he would have liked it to. But we'll find out here with Alerty now. White flag this time by GG Racing. He's not far away. He might snag second, depending on how it plays out in this final lap. White flag this time by. Now Outlaw just gotta play smart here. If he Alerty gets loose! And he gets held way up by Alerty. But Alerty goes to the outside, Outlaw to the inside. They bump, they tangle in the 2. Alerty spins the tires. So Outlaw should be fine. Meanwhile, Diamond Man, he's got GG Racing right on the back of him, Bobberts.
I've just noticed. I've just seen it.
GT Racing, what a hard run by him in race number 2. He had to work real hard. Can he snag the 2nd spot?
Alerty's going past Outlaw. Outlaw's on the grass.
Oh my gosh! What the? And here comes the checker flag in the air. SSR Outlaw going for the win in race number 2. And he will do it. Diamond Man holds off GG Racing. 1, 2, 3. 4th will be LMP Crispy. 5th, SSR Uranium. 6th will be SSR Starlord. LMP Amoeba will take over that 7th spot. Meanwhile, Oz, he'll come home in 8th. Duke the Rebel, 9th. BDF Gaming, 10th. Stay tuned for post-race interviews after the race. SMXJ Yankee, a better finish, Bobberts, by SMXJ Yankee. Numi, 12th. 13th, DOR Urus. 14th, Brentward. 15th, looks like LMP Ranger, who's holding off SSR Markey around the final corner. Track Johnny, who came in late, or came in a little late before the start of the race, didn't think he was going to make it. He'll take home 17th. 18th will be Alerty. 19th should be SMX Saboteur. And FTC Rolito will round out your 20-car field, leaving the only driver, Sensei Renee, to finish last.
Oh.
So the drivers waiting for the final two drivers, or a few drivers, to finish up the race. There was some lap down traffic, and I really think, Bobberts, that the full field was more interesting than cutting the field in half. I think they made a good decision on this.
Yep, couldn't agree more.
Well,
Could not agree with you more. I think it's really spiced up this racing a bit more than what we were expecting.
and that'll do it for race number 2 and the final race of the night, as SSR Outlaw wins race number 2. Stay tuned, as we will get Outlaw and GG Racing in here momentarily. But I gotta think the driver of the day today would be definitely BDF 48 Gaming. I talk about disconnecting in race 1, having the fight in race 2, not only to start last, but to get into the top 10. I think that was a great performance by him.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, he came up through the field, but you could easily say Starlord did that in race 1 as well, and then he had the
And
better
that was
idea,
another
well,
thing
not better
too.
idea, but-
Starlord. I mean, there is going to be 2 driver of the day, so I definitely think that a couple people are, respectable for it. But let's get the winners in here now, as we'll get GG in here first, and I think Outlaw is working on the final results, so he might take a minute or 2 to get in here with us. But nonetheless, we're going to start with GG Racing. And GG, just make sure you turn your audio on so everyone can hear you. Just a party chat box.
Yeah,
But
I'll have that on.
congratulations on a very, very good race day for you, week number 1 here at Homestead. Race number 1, GG, you got out front, you made little mistakes, you did everything right, and you dominated the first race. And it was definitely a impressive performance. Race 2, you obviously struggled to get through the field initially, but you definitely fought, and I mean that really almost got to you at the end there. You only needed a couple more laps, it looked like, because it looked like Outlaw was having some issues there late, and definitely obviously Diamond Man was struggling there, but overall you had a great day.
Yeah, like I said, I'm just gonna take my time race 2. Like, I don't know you got it on stream, but you saw the truck. He was sideways. He's gonna have to go opposite, backwards on the track. So I slowed down, and I had to warn all the drivers. Like, some drivers were in the party, some drivers were not in the party. So I had to warn them, like, whoever's behind me, saying it was like, guys, slow down, please slow down. There's like a huge crash. So I was thinking, so that's why I slowed down, let everyone crash, and then just try to find a way to catch back up. Which was hard, but it worked.
Well, GG, it definitely was a wild day for racing, and obviously, the whole field, it was so awesome to see you guys out there, and we had a lot of fun, Bobberts and I, but before we move on to the Outlaw here, Bobberts, do you have anything you'd like to ask GG before we get out of here with him?
Well, firstly, congrats GG, obviously, on a first and a third. I don't think you can ask for too much more, considering obviously the little mishap you had on the first lap. I don't think obviously nothing to do with your own fault, but a little carnage obviously with the reverse grid. But obviously, as I said, you can't ask for too much more. First and third obviously does mean you'll be leading the standing. So obviously going into next week's race, what do you think you're gonna have to do? Is it gonna be the same again? Just do your best, practice hard, and get that pole position to give you the best shots? Or get the maximum points?
Yeah, I'm just gonna keep hot lapping, like, whenever, like, the day I'm racing, like, let's say, like, if I'm doing a GTTC on the Tour series, that's the day I'm gonna practice that one before I start with the GTTC. Then the same thing goes over and over, so I don't have to be on my, because I live in 2 different houses, so it really depends on, like, how good I am and stuff. So it'll be easy for me, since I actually did a lot of hot laps with different tracks before I did this, so I should be okay for now.
Well, it's good to see, obviously, back in MEA. Obviously, obviously we go back a little bit, but congrats on your first and your third, and hopefully you can continue that into the remaining races.
Yeah, and good luck. Good job to Outlaw.
Well, we'll move across to SSR Outlaw. And Outlaw, obviously, congratulations on your race victory in race 2. Obviously, had a few issues in race 1. Obviously, had a very intense battle with T1RRs, as well as with Numi in that first race, especially. But obviously, you made your way through with the second race, and you got out in front with the Diamond Man very close to you. But obviously, you had a little bit of a scare at the end with Alerty on that last lap, nearly but potentially costing you the win. But was your heart pounding? And were you thinking, what are you doing? I just want to safely get through and win this race.
Oh, that last lap, I legit told Alerty, I was like, hey man, if you put me in a tire wall right here, we're gonna have a problem. And then of course, I go off track into the grass, and he immediately goes, oh no, it's so much worse than that. But it was fun.
I was laughing.
He was not ready he did not want to go a lap down. He wasn't gonna give up. As long as he didn't cost position, I'm not gonna get mad at him for it, but oh well.
Well, it was very tight and very close for it happening, so thankfully you managed to hang on to the wins. Obviously, as I said, you had a little bit of a rough first race, but a very good second race puts you into good stead for in the points and obviously for the next races. So, what do you expect for next time out?
I need to put as much as a gap on Gigi as possible, because that man was catching me like it was nothing that second race. He was, oh my goodness.
Gotta work hard.
And Outlaw, the first race, you obviously had a lot of battling. And you fought with Oz there. You guys had a couple questionable moments, obviously. And second race, it just seemed like everything went right for you. Obviously, a couple of hiccups amongst other drivers helped out a little bit there. But once you got out front, you had Diamond Man chasing you down the whole second race. And then, at the end there was obviously a wild. Did you ever think at one point, race number 2, that Diamond Man might have got to you?
Dude, Diamond Man seriously impressed me. I think he impressed himself too, because he said he didn't think he was competitive at all. And I was expecting me to mess up just enough for him to get around me. And it was a constant thought in the back of my head that whole race.
Well, I don't know what's happened to Steve then, but...
And I'm sorry, my mic was muted. And, well, I'm sorry, I'm trying to go through a bunch of stuff at the same time. But anyways, definitely Outlaw. It was definitely a wild race, and I think, you're one of the guys that put this Trophy Truck Series together, and it seemed to go very well today. The whole field racing was phenomenal. I think that was a huge impact. I know that some of you guys were worried about the setup of running the full class, but I think I know Boberts and I had fun. It was great. We saw a lot of different things out there, little mistakes here and there, some tough driving, some really aggressive driving. But congratulations on the win today. Obviously, the point standings, guys, have 2 points. 2 points. 2 points races each week. So obviously, right now, Gigi's going to have that advantage because of the better second finish there. But obviously, Outlaw going into it, you said in the following weeks trying to get that gap. We didn't get to talk to you before the race like other drivers. But how difficult is it to run really clean and be close in these trucks?
Honestly, I actually think these trucks are easier to run when you're close to people. I realized that second race, when I got out on my own, I couldn't brake fast enough for anything. They just feel so much better when you're with someone else. So I personally think it is no different driving with people around.
Well, congratulations.
You just gotta, obviously these trucks are massive, so you have to remember how much clearance you have.
Well, congratulations, Outlaw, on the second race win, and congratulations again to UGG. Boberts, it was a lot of fun today. What was some of the highlighting moments for you?
The carnage at the start. Obviously, the tyre barrier that just seems to stick out a bit too far. Ranger got caught out, I think, a few more times than other people did. Obviously, there was quite a lot of bumping and banging. A few questionable moments, but on the whole, I think it was very good action-packed racing. As we said, it was a great idea to get everybody together in one lobby, which I think made this, a lot more enjoyable and more fun to watch. And obviously, for what I was expecting, well, I didn't know what to expect, but it was great to watch. Good to commentate on at the same time.
Well, thanks for being with us today, Boberts, and thank you all for watching. This is SSR Mayhem and SSR Boberts as we wish you a farewell from week number 1 Don't forget tomorrow's championship race at Yas Marina as the Prototype Touring Car Series comes to a close. 1 p.m. Eastern Time, 6 p.m. British Standard Time. Thank you all for watching and have a wonderful night as SQD GG Racing and SSR Outlaw are your 2 race winners for night week 1 here at Homestead. Good night.